Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Thursday, April 14th, 2022. Now, if you like this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to leave a comment down below with what your picks are in the games in baseball for Thursday. If you're looking for my best bets or best bets from some of the top handicappers in the world today, be sure to check out the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into the games for Thursday, April 14th. For our first game, we're going to go to the ball game between the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. This has been quite the exciting series thus far, and in this game, I think we're going to see a lot of runs scored from both teams. You know, I'm not a big fan of either of these projected starters in Cole Irvin or Drew Rasmussen. Irvin really struggled in his first start of the year, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, and 3 home runs, which is not necessarily what we've used to seeing from Irvin. Doesn't really had too big of an issue with the home run ball in his career, but he gave up 3 in his first outing, only had 4 strikeouts, and he had a 6.75 ERA in that start. He struggled in spring training, and I think he's going to struggle yet again in this one against a tough Rays lineup. Now, on the other side, Drew Rasmussen fared a little bit better in his first start of the year, but I still wasn't necessarily too impressed with his outing against a weak Baltimore Orioles lineup. He still gave up a home run, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, and only 4 innings of work. And I think the A's, a lineup that's got more power than contact, I think they're going to be able to find 1 or 2 long balls in this game and put some runs on the board early. So this total is just too low for me. I think we get over it, so I'm going to take the over in the A's Rays. In our next game, we're going to see the Seattle Mariners take on the Chicago White Sox. Logan Gilbert and Jimmy Lambert, the 2 projected starters. Gilbert pitched very well in his first start of the season, 5 innings, only 3 hits, 1 earned run. He was on a solo home run, and 7 strikeouts in that outing. He did not get the decision in that one, but still a 1.8 ERA through the first start. Not too shabby for one of the top pitching prospects in this rotation. Now on the other side, Jimmy Lambert, we haven't seen much of him in the majors thus far. The reason why he's getting the start in this one is because Lucas Giolito went down with an injury, so he'll be out for a little while. Lambert pitched 13 innings last season with the White Sox, didn't fare too well. 16 hits allowed, 9 earned runs, 3 home runs, and 6 walks allowed as well. He did not get much work in spring training, only pitched 1 inning. Didn't give up anything, but 1 inning of spring training is not enough for me to back you here. I think the Mariners get to Lambert and the White Sox pen here, and I like Seattle to earn the victory behind Logan Gilbert. Next up, we have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. This should be a fun series to watch in the NL Central. The projected starting pitching matchup has Adam Wainwright going up against Brandon Woodruff. Now, Wainwright was supposed to pitch on Wednesday afternoon, but that game between the Royals and Cardinals was postponed due to weather, so Wainwright is the projected guy here. And on the other side, Brandon Woodruff, coming off a really tough start in his first outing against the Cubs, 3 2/3, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, and only 2 strikeouts. He also hit 2 batters. And you know, the weather in Wrigley was actually benefiting pitchers in that one, so a surprise start to see from Woodruff. He also really struggled in spring training, and when I say really, 11 2/3, 16 hits, 15 runs, 14 of them were earned, and 6 home runs as well. So I worry about Woodruff early this year, and I cannot lay odds with him at this price. You know, at this price and at home, it doesn't really matter to me. Wainwright's proven to go out there and get you some innings. You know, he's not going to dazzle you with getting a ton of strikeouts. He's more of a pitch-to-contact guy. But he did have 6 Ks in his first start in 6 innings. Not too bad for a guy that's, 40 years old now. But I think the Cardinals have all the value here. I think they have the better lineup right now. I think they have the starting pitching matchup advantage, and the bullpens are pretty close. I'd give the edge to Milwaukee, but I don't think it's enough of an edge for me to take them here. So give me the Cardinals on the money line. Next up, we have the Washington Nationals taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and this is not a game that I'm rushing to the window to bet. I'll let you know that right away. I think there's not a ton of value either way you slice it. Yohan Adon and JT Brubaker, the projected starters, just neither of these guys I can confidently back in this one. Adon struggled in his first start of the year against the Mets, 4 earned runs, a home run, 4 walks, and 2 wild pitches as well, and only 4 innings in a third, while Brubaker, 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, a home run, 3 walks. So, neither of these starters I think are going to go very deep. The reason I wouldn't take the over is I just don't trust either of these lineups to run up the score here. I think the Nationals are the slightly better option on the money line. A guy like Juan Soto, who I think is the second best player in baseball, he's the type of guy that can take over a game himself. and I don't like the Pirates bullpen or Brubaker going up against Soto in this one. So I'm going to take the Nationals on the money line, but not a game I love to bet. For our next game, we have another NL East matchup between the Phillies and the Marlins. Now, this game should be quite interesting. This will be the home opener for the Miami Marlins as they started the season on the road for the first two series. Sandy Alcantara and Kyle Gibson, the projected starters here. Now, Kyle Gibson faced this Marlins lineup once last year. He was absolutely shelled. 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a home run allowed as well. So giving him a 13.5 ERA against the Fish in 2021. On the other side, Sandy Alcantara pitched pretty well in his first start of the year. Nothing crazy. He did have a little bit of a walk problem in that game, but on his career, he really hasn't had too many issues with the free passes. Spring training, he was lights out, and I like backing him in this spot with the Marlins getting their home opener. The Phillies have just been a little too inconsistent for me in both series that they've played so far against the A's and the Mets. The bullpen has struggled at times. The lineup has also struggled at times. So give me the Fish at home here on the money line. Next up, we have the Angels taking on the Rangers. Shohei Ohtani and Dane Dunning, the projected starters for this one. Ohtani pitched very well in his first start of the season. 4 2/3, 9 strikeouts, only 1 earned run allowed, and only 1 walk allowed, which at times we've seen Ohtani struggle with the free passes. So it was a promising sign to see him only give up 1 walk in that start. On the other side, Dane Dunning had a really good first half of the season last year for the Rangers, but fell off quite a bit in the second half. And he struggled in his first start of the season of this year. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, a home run, and 2 walks. In spring training, he also struggled quite a bit. Gave up 8 earned and only 6 2/3 innings. He's just not a guy I can back in this spot. And, I much rather prefer Ohtani at the plate than on the mound. I think he's just a far better hitter. But I still think he's a very talented pitcher. And I think he does enough to get the job here. So give me the Angels behind Ohtani on the money line as the road team. In our next game, we have an entertaining matchup between the Blue Jays and Yankees. Now, I do think this game will be a fun one to watch, but I don't think there's a ton of value betting-wise. I do lean towards the Blue Jays on the money line for a few reasons. Luis Severino was not stretched out in his first game. He only pitched 3 innings against the Red Sox. While he did have 5 strikeouts, he also allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and a home run. And I don't expect him to pitch very deep in this game either. And the thing is, the Blue Jays lineup is just in far better place than the Yankees is right now. The Yankees lineup on paper could compete with some of the teams like the Blue Jays, but we just haven't seen a full effort from 1 to 9 in this Yankees order. They've relied on the long ball quite a bit, which is, good in modern baseball. Home runs are a big part of the game, but you got to get on base as well. And a lot of these batting averages, if you look down the lineup for the Yankees, pretty low for these guys when you look at their career averages. So I think the Blue Jays are the better play here just because of the price we're getting with them. So I'm going to take Toronto on the money line in a slight lean. Next up, we have a pretty fun matchup on our hands with the Braves and the Padres. The projected starters, Charlie Morton and Joe Musgrove. Both of these guys had pretty good starts to start the year. 5 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs for Morton with 5 strikeouts, while Musgrove really racked up the Ks. He had 8 strikeouts in 6 innings, only allowed 2 earned runs for him. So both guys with ERAs below 4 to start the year. I know it's pretty early. If you look at this Braves team, they scored a ton of runs, 16 on Tuesday against the Nationals. But then the bats looked completely sluggish on Wednesday against the same Nationals team, only put up 1 run. And I think this game, for the most part, is going to be pretty low scoring, at least at the start of it. I think these starting pitchers have strong outings, and I think towards the bullpen innings, 6, 7, 8, 9 innings, I think those are where you're going to see where the offense come out for both of these clubs. So I like the under in the first 5. I think it's a low-scoring battle at the beginning. Don't trust the bullpens to get us there for the under in the full game, so just give me the under first 5. In our next game, we see an AL Central battle between the Tigers and the Royals. Now, the Tigers are projected to start Casey Mize in this one. He did struggle in his first start of the season. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, and he only had 2 strikeouts in that start as well. But on the other side, the Royals, we don't really know too much about what their plans are in terms of starting pitching. As of now, it looks like Zach Greinke is the projected starter because he was projected to go on Wednesday, but that game was rained out with the Cardinals. So it's either going to be Greinke or Brad Keller in this one, and either option for me, I like the Tigers against. I think Greinke and Keller are starters that I don't think are viable options to back this season. I think Casey Mize is going to have a much sharper performance in this one. I think you look at what he did in spring training, and you look at what he did towards the end of the season last year. I I think that's more true to who the type of pitcher he is right now. So give me the Tigers on the money line here on the road. Next up, we have the Chicago Cubs taking on the Colorado Rockies. And I think this series is going to be pretty high scoring overall. In this particular matchup, I like the over. You look Justin Steele and Kyle Freeland, the projected matchup, both left-handed pitchers. The Rockies lineup has just been scoring runs left and right, and even when they're not scoring, they're getting on base. The lineup has looked really good, and this was a Rockies team that last year at Coors Field dominated against left-handed pitching. Justin Steele did pitch well in his first start of the season. When you look at his spring training numbers, you look at what he did last year, I cannot trust him at Coors Field in this one, especially against a hot team like the Rockies, who took the series against the Dodgers and then swept the series on the road against the Rangers. Now they're back home. I think they score plenty in this one. And the Rockies bullpen going into this season was ranked 30th in the league in terms of projected WAR for a reason. This bullpen's not very good. And even if the Cubs don't get at Kyle Freeland early on, I think they'll be able to put up a few runs late against the bullpen. So give me the over in the Cubs-Rockies. Our final game of the night, unfortunately, is a game that doesn't have a ton of value either way. You know, the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sure, you could take a shot in the dark and take the Reds on the money line, getting a ton of plus money. I just don't think it's a smart investment. We saw the Reds struggle against the Cleveland Guardians. Now they have to go on the road to face a Dodgers team that had a perfect game through 7 innings, dominated the Twins in that series, and Walker Buehler on the mound for the Dodgers in this one against Raver San Martin, who really struggled in his first start. You know, the Dodgers are huge favorites for a reason. If I was forced to bet this game, it'd be Dodgers run line or pass. But either way, I don't think there's a ton of value any way you slice it. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday, April 14th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your picks down below in the comments section. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. And as always, good luck.